I gave you my heart.
Hi empaths, welcome back to my healing space and back to my empath empowerment series. I thought maybe a good thing to look at this week would be love. Let's see what the cards have to say about loving relationships. What's in the collective consciousness? What do we need to know? I'm going to use the angelic tuning fork to clear our auras, the room, the cards, invoke angels, guides, compassionate ancestors, any beings of the light who want to inform this reading for the most accurate, concise, inspiring, helpful reading that's priority for the viewer to hear at the time of watching this video. Good. I'm going to go to the Gilded Tarot by Chiara Marchetti. And we're just going to use the tarot cards, focusing tools, to see what's going on in love, or what do we need to know about love. In the collective consciousness. Okay, so the first card that's coming out is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is about conflict, right? Inner conflict, fighting. So this might be about conflicting wants or conflicting needs. So maybe there's part of you that wants connection, wants partnership, but there's also so much pain associated that isolation and independence becomes more comfortable. So we're looking at the Queen of Pentacles. And this might be about, I'm just more accustomed and used to independence, being alone, finding stability on my own, because once I start to get into partnership and connection, all of these latent fears and wounds come to surface, and it creates so much pain and conflict and anxiety for me that I can't manage. So my default mode is independence. And then we have the Seven of Cups, which is a lot of options, but most of them aren't grounded in reality, right? So we might begin to use fantasy to meet some of these needs, right? Meet some of the needs that we have for partnership, for love. Or we remain in a state of indecisiveness where we just continue to play out our options and never really commit. I do get that, you know, there's a lot of delusion here. There's a lot of illusion around around possibilities, options, and there's uncertainty. But we're coming to a place of, or maybe you've come into a new beginning of truth, right? We got the Ace of Swords here. Maybe you're cutting through a lot of this delusion and you're getting really clear that living in this fantasy isn't really helping. It's not meeting your needs. So you're cutting through and you're coming into a new beginning based on truth, right? Ace of Swords, based on truth, in that you're ready to work together with somebody. We have the Ace of Pentacles here. You understand that it's about cooperation and teamwork, that someone's not going to come in and just be perfect, right? It's going to require some cooperation. And maybe in the past, you've had situations where people came in playing games with you and just were seeking validation, right? Maybe some narcissism, some narcissists who came in and you had past experiences that left some scars, left some wounds. People kind of just came in, stole your validation, attention, and left, right? Or took something of value to you. And that blow to the ego created attachment. So maybe there is one person or a few people who you still feel some attachment to because it hurt your ego. Or created chemistry based on your wounding. So you still feel attachment to them in this negative way, though. Like the connection and was built on this game playing, these negative associations. Maybe you came in ready to cooperate, ready to create and build something. And then maybe they appeared to be that way, but ended up leaving, right? Taking your truths, taking that investment and leaving. And that investment that you made in them leaves you feeling attached. Maybe is this feeling still of attachment. Know that the sun is coming out, right? The sun card's coming out and brightening up this entire reading. The fire of the sun is going to burn up this attachment. The healing light of a realization or a shift in perception. You're going to see the light. Right? Because sometimes it takes a minute for things to travel from the head to the heart and then to the gut, right? for us to really embody something. We might know the truth. We might acknowledge that, okay, this person, this connection, or these people that I'm still attached to were bad for me, right? Or it wasn't a good experience. But it takes a while for our heart to catch up to that, you know? We might still feel this attachment. Because maybe they played on all of our fears, and maybe it was unconscious, right? Maybe it might not have been intentional on their part, or maybe it was. But instead of replaying this cycle, this is an opportunity to wake up to this pattern and create a stable connection here. Stable connection. Four of Wands. This is partnership. This is stability. Right, in traditional tarot, this is a couple, you know, married. It sometimes depicts a marriage ceremony here. This is emotional stability within a connection, stable with one person, a commitment. And then we have the King of Swords. And this might be the person, the match, right? King of Swords could be air sign, right? Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Could be someone with integrity, connected to truth teller, good with boundaries, a little detached, right? Detached emotionally, more logical thinking, also fair and just and truthful, right? Honest. And a king, someone who has come to a certain level of mastery within oneself, right? Has a level of integrity. Because at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. And this is the perfect match to that king. So it is about destined, connected, fated partnership with somebody who is a good match for you. So doing that inner work and working on the independence wasn't a bad move. It was actually very smart investment to invest in yourself, right? Instead of investing emotionally in these fantasies or delusions or options that aren't really solid on the ground, right? Cutting through this delusion when it comes to relationships and getting to the core truth of what it is you really are seeking, what you desire, the outcome, right? And maybe you find you continue to do that over and over again. I come in knowing, okay, well, we got to build trust. We have to cooperate. And you continue to have the experience of the Seven of Swords where they're being sneaky, tricky, and creating attachment based on these games instead of, and making me feel crazy, right? Making you feel crazy based on these games, these tactics, instead of creating the stability and the trust that you're seeking. And maybe this is just about giving connections breathing room so you can see them for for what they are, right? So you can cut through that delusion, giving it some time to play out. This could also be about working on creating stronger filters around narcissists or selfish, self-centered individuals by working with that archetype, right? We can create stronger filters if we work with the archetype. So maybe working with the narcissist archetype can help create a stronger filter around that for you. working maybe even with this Seven of Swords as an archetype, right? Or the Devil as an archetype. So that we integrate that aspect of self so that it's not in the shadow, so we're less susceptible. And then we're more equipped to create this Four of Wands with this King of Swords or Queen of Swords, depending on where we identify, right? This person of integrity, truth, self-mastery, right? Because the sun wants to shine on that connection. The sun's coming through to illuminate this for you. So just tune in to what might best serve you, what might help cut through this delusion or break this pattern, right? Taking this sword from the Ace of Swords and cutting through this delusion. Not wasting your time, and also healing some of this wounding, right? This conflict around wanting connection because you've dealt with the Seven of Swords type of person so much. When what you're really seeking is equal partnership, collaboration, working together to build a connection. And maybe working with this energy of the sun, right, to illuminate this inner conflict, attachment, to burn up these attachments, and illuminate who this King of Swords or Queen of Swords is for you, or what this stable partnership actually feels like, looks like. And this might be also about working with morning intentions or affirmations, right? In part, that's why I created that series of the morning intentions, so that we can get in touch every morning and reset and do some inner work where we align and set intentions daily, right? Because a daily practice is what creates our future. So just know the sun's going to come and it's going to shine. And put a positive lens and experience to this cycle, ending this cycle, illuminating what needs to be healed, burning up that attachment, and bringing a really happy vibe. So something's coming in with this happy, positive vibration. And maybe it's just getting in touch with that state, that inner state for ourselves, which will lead us to this stable partnership. So it's about breaking this cycle, breaking this pattern of perhaps narcissistic abuse or dealing with players, right? Or whatever it is, breaking that pattern so that we trust ourselves, right? And that there's less inner conflict because we no longer delude ourselves in thinking those people are an option. If we're looking for commitment, they're not. So getting to that core truth for ourselves so that we can create more stable partnerships. Right? I hope this was helpful. Thank you for liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Comment below with any thing you'd like me to focus on for another reading in the future for empath empowerment. Thank you for donations to the channel, energy exchange donations. It really makes me feel supported in this work. If you'd like a one-on-one session or reading, that information will be in the description of this video. All right, and I hope to see you in Burbank at the end of March. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, empaths.